Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kenos. We are 1 week from the playoffs, and I'm joined by this by my good friend Truffle Source for this first set of games. How you doing, Truffle?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. How about yourself, Kenos?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. We'll go over what's going to happen with this set of games here in a minute. First, let's pop over to the standings, take a quick look at that. Currently in the playoffs, option 12 is very firmly cemented in there with 10 points, so they're good to go. But it's pretty much a toss-up for Phoenix, White Wolf, and even Blitzkrieg and Nine Lives, honestly. Um, all of them very much within striking distance of the playoffs there. Currently, if they stay where they are, it would be option 12, Blitzkrieg, Nine Lives, and Phoenix in the playoffs. But Blitzkrieg is on bye, so they may find themselves out of the playoffs after today. What do you think about where the lineup is right now, Truffle?
This lineup is absolutely insane. There are five teams competing for the four playoff spots, and the only team that is truly locked in is option 12. Even the mighty Nine Lives, if everything goes very poorly for them, could be eliminated. If everything happens to fall down that way, I am just so ecstatic that there's such a strong competition for even second place here in the final week of regular play.
And it is possible that things will go very well for White Wolf and Phoenix as they're both matched up against two of the lower teams in the league. That being said, however, there is a very strong possibility that Gale Force or Northern Storm could play spoiler. I'm sure they'd very much enjoy doing that after somewhat of the lackluster seasons they've had. And so, depending how things shape up, Blitzkrieg could end up coming back and find themselves knocked out. But we'll have to see how that works out. So, to our viewing audience, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll not know where we're filming this currently, but League of Legends is having issues with its observer mode right now. So we've had to kind of screw around with some settings to get you guys the games this week. So we'll be starting into recorded. All the games are being played or have been played already. We haven't seen them, so we have recordings of the champion select, and then we'll jump into sent replays of the games in action. So there may be some pauses as the casters try to line up where we are, so we're both seeing the same thing. So please bear with us. But we can jump right into the champ select now, thanks to technology, and we'll be starting shuffle in 3, 2, 1, play. All right.
Perfect. Starting right off the bat with the start of band phase. So yeah, we've picked up it nicely
We're,
here.
we're starting right off the bat with the teams on the wrong side of each other.
Oh right, because of perspective.
All right, so I can flip this. Give me 1 second, everybody. But it does not mean that. Ignore the lead series.
Yep.
The lead series marker does not matter. But we have White Wolf will be on the red side. Gale Force will be on the blue side. But yeah, so we're going in here. The music is also muted, probably due to player selection here. But we are going into the band phase. Seeing a little bit more of it, actually, we get to see some player selection here from the banner. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, a little bit more insight into the thought process here. Speaking of thought process, we have a Jax and Lux band coming out. Jax is a signature carry of I think Baconlicious, but I also think that Tilt Measly runs him in the jungle as well. Mundo is a targeted ban against Stelio Cantos. Prime Din, apparently they just don't want that Lux coming through, and Xerath is very much a tilted Snorlax special. So a lot of targeted bans here about against champions they just don't want to face against today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we see that quite a lot. Taking out really good support characters as well. I mean, we have seen Lux played support several times in this split, so keeping an eye out for that is definitely a good idea. Seems as though we have some audio stuff from the user's computer as well, so keeping that in mind. Just
Also, I'm going to start critiquing stuff in between these band phases here. Random 2 as a rune page here. I don't even know if that's visible. I think that's covered up.
Yeah, it's covered up by the ads.
Well, never mind. You didn't hear that from me.
All right, so we'll see what the first pick here from Gale Force is, since they are on the blue side. And it's a Vagar first pick. All right. We haven't seen Vagar's been banned out a lot this split.
Yeah, and for good reason too, because Veigar is an infinitely scaling character that brings a lot to the table, including a delete button. And I do remember that plays a lot of Veigar as well, so it makes a lot of sense for that priority to be a early pick to get that in the hands of Tilted Snorlax.
Hmm. Yeah, I got to get that out of there. Of course, Scion also been a big top laner this split, getting that picked in there for Baconlicious. He's done a lot of good work with it. And Tilt Me Silly there on Kane.
Perfect. Right off the bat, I'm loving this pick already. The Scion and the Kane, that's a solid combo. Both of them are very powerful champions in their role as well. So, definitely throwing down a strong gauntlet here on the half of White Wolf.
Nocturne picked up for Deformed Ape there. Definitely a great jungler in this previous split here, and possibly a Darius pick. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out for Gale Force in the situation.
I actually really like this out of Gale Force. Stelio Cantos is a great player, and honestly, everyone that plays in the LCUS is a very talented player. But Stelio is used to playing carries. At least that's what I've seen him on more. And so I actually really like putting Darius in his hands because that's going to give him some potential to really take off. And I actually like to see that.
Since we have the replay here, we can see kind of into the into White Wolf's minds here. Primedin suggesting maybe pick up Malzahar for him. We'll see if they go forward with that or not.
Yeah, a little bit of low-key cheating here on the casters, but I do like the Rakan ban to take it away from the potential Zaya Rakan matchup. That is a very intelligent ban coming out of Gale Force. Lots of targeted support bans against Anger Carrot here. A Blitzcrank and a Braum, both powerful champions that we see a lot in the LCUS. Definitely taking those out of his hands.
Yeah, it's interesting to see all of those support bans. Typically, you would think that there would be targets against the ADC, but we've seen a lot. This whole split, actually, we've seen a lot of support bans coming out. Blitzcranks against players like Sigtao Lord, Morgana bans against Ashaway. So really respecting supports this split, and I'm sure support players like that.
Exactly. It always feels good. It's the worst best feeling, you know. But Ziggs is one I haven't seen in a hot minute. Are they going to lock it in? Probably because the Malzahar got banned. They must have heard us talking about it. I am a little bit surprised to see that Ezreal made it through, and exactly he already locked it in. Clutch. Fat Jackalope played both games last week as Ezreal, and I thought they went pretty well. He certainly looks like he knows the new character. So
yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I'm a little surprised to see all the support bans, but we do see Angered Carrot kind of sitting there for a minute thinking. Um, do get the last little pick there though, Tarek. Tarek, of course, with his invulnerability ultimate, can be very powerful on champions like Darius Ezreal. So we'll see how well that combos.
yeah, and I do quite like the Terret pick here. An invulnerable uh, Darius, going to town. You can throw it a knock. There's a lot of great things that you can do with this Terret pick. Conversely, Tom Kent also very strong pick. One that I don't see that much in the LCUS. Shaken Not Stirred tends to play him in top if we ever do see him.
Mm-hmm.
I do kind of like that it's seen. I know a lot of people think that Tom Kench is no fun to play against, and that might be fair, but I do think it's a strong pick in this case.
All right, because we do not have the spectator delay for this in 30 seconds. Which team do you like more of this lineup?
Ooh, good question. I feel like that Malzahar ban really hurt White Wolf here, so I'm actually tempted to give this one to Gale Force.
Yeah, I think Gale Force has a lot of comfort picks, but at the same time, some of their picks do also seem like they were takeaways as well. So I think that if Vagar goes off, they'll have a good shot, but we'll see how that bot lane goes because that could be really rough.
Yep, totally agree. I'll add that Vagar or Darius, if either of the one takes off, they can own the game. So I think that's
All right. So with the video over here, we'll now jump straight into the game, and then Truffle and I will need to line up the replays But we'll just go right into the Nero Skin Showdown here once I hit play. All right, and as we said, this is the Nero Skin Showdown. As a reminder to everyone, Nero is one of our sponsors. They are a LARP-based community with chapters all over the United States. And if you're interested in LARPing or looking into more information about fantasy adventures, NeroLARPOnline.com. I do like the skins coming out of White Wolf here. I think they coordinate very well.
100%. Odyssey Kane, fantastic new skin that's very fresh. I love the Earth line, so I agree with him giving that to White Wolf.
All right, so we have the replay set up. I'm currently at 18 seconds. Where are you?
I will join you at 18 seconds in a moment.
Okay, I'll pause it then. Give me a moment here.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Okay, I'm paused at 30.
Paused at 30. I will join you there.
And as we're waiting for Truffle to get up here, Gale Force seems to be going for a very aggressive jungle motion here. We'll see if they can catch anybody. Tilt Me Silly and Amaya-chan are a little far out. If they decide to loop down the river, they might catch him.
And I'm paused almost frame perfect to where you are at as well. So ready whenever.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So we'll see what happens here. Arcane Soda will see this coming.
Ooh, they get the ward. That's always a fun mini game. First blood, I guess, goes to, first ward blood goes to Gale Force.
All right, and while it looks as though we've don't have any quick starting action, I'll also mention that this first set of games is brought to you by Foster Adventure. Foster is that wonderful organization we've mentioned time and again, helping out teens with educational, social, and athletic opportunities. Feel free to donate if such a thing interests you at fosteradventure.org. All right, so we have the mid lane set up here. It looks as though Snorlax is fine, just waiting for that extra little bit of CS. Primed and making sure there's not going to be any steals. I'm not expecting too much jungle silliness. Do you think there's going to be any sort of attempted steals?
Attempted steal, no. I am a little bit surprised that Tilt Me Silly is starting on his blue. I guess it's a little bit predictable to go Raptors as Kane. In terms of jungle steal or anything like that, I am not expecting anything. In fact, I'm not expecting much out of Deformed 8 until level 6, which is when Nocturne, of course, gets his Paranoia ult and really turns on.
Yeah, it's always interesting seeing those junglers, because Kane can get really aggressive if he wants to with all the wall running and all that good stuff. So it's always interesting to see the more passive junglers who don't really get turned on until higher levels, such as Nocturne, such as Vi, to see how they handle more aggressive junglers.
Yeah, exactly. And even adding to that, Tilt Me Silly on Kane here can look to steal a lot from this Nocturne and actually delay that level 6, which is so important.
Well, we'll see where it goes. Deformed Ape going up to his crab right away here. Meanwhile, Kane goes straight to red buff. Well, not straight to red buff. He got Raptors and Wolves, but the clear time on Kane is just so good that it's hard to tell.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what makes him such a threat, because he's going to get an early gank off here, more than likely, recall, and then start to really look at harassing the Deformed Ape on Nocturne.
Yeah, the big thing to wonder about, though, as he goes for this attempted gank here. Oh, no, it looks like he may just use the wall to heal. Nope, he's still heading up. We'll get spotted, though. But it doesn't look like Kantos is looking. Gets that Wassler breathing. Ooh, Tilt Me Silly actually backs up. A Darius running at you is not really something you want to see.
Yeah, that's actually really bad news. Oh, speaking of really bad news, Kane here crapped out entirely all three members of Gale Force RM.
He could actually get out of here, and I think he will. Oh, the pull! Oh!
That apprehend was insane. That was absolutely perfect timing there. Coming out of Stelio Kantos, securing the first blood on Nocturne, actually, with assists going over to both characters that you don't want to start scaling. This is a great start for Gale Force.
That would have been really embarrassing if that Kane had gotten away, and he was so close to doing it too. Good job by Kantos holding that pull until the moment where they were able to grab the Kane.
Yeah, and also a bit of bad luck here for that Kane. Double stun coming out of bot lane, a bit of damage coming out of Fat Jackal. It looks like actually not as much damage as I expected. Sort of an extended trade.
Yeah, something I'm wondering, which I was going to posit before Kane died there was, you think Kane's going to go blue or red this time for his form?
Oh, that's a great question. I actually would like to see him go blue this time, because you've got a Tahm Kench and a infinitely stacking Scion as a front line. You absolutely don't need to go red if you don't want to. And I think blue Kane is going to bring a little bit of damage and assassin threat, which is actually kind of needed, I think, into Gale Force.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the damage really needs to be there. Now, if he was on Gale Force here, I would probably think he should go red, just for a little bit of extra brawling. But he'll need to be able to burst down Vhagar and Ezreal late game, and that's something blue can do.
Yeah, absolutely, and I agree with your point that Gale Force could use a little bit more tank than I think what they have, but that Taric does really help out with that, with the ability to basically make your whole team immune to damage. That's oftentimes enough to secure a fight.
Ooh, another big stun, but they don't really have the damage to take advantage of those yet.
Yeah, it's gonna take Ezreal a bit before he can really take advantage of those trades. He certainly needs to complete his first item and probably get a Sheen as well. Gets chunked out very low. Taric doing what he can here, but that is a lot of damage on Fat Jackalope.
Yeah, that's something you got to look out for when you're playing against Xayah down there in the bot. Deformed Ape kind of floating by, probably won't engage though. Doesn't really have a reason to. And Tilt Me Silly's also just kind of hanging out. Not sure if he's considering whether or not to go in. Doesn't seem like he's going to.
Yeah, they were looking at a dive there, which would have sort of backfired for them because Nocturne was also hanging around in that sort of area. So I think it's probably better for Tilt Me Silly and for White Wolf to have backed off there.
And taking a look at the CS, Tilted Snorlax is at 28 stacks and is keeping relatively close to Primeden. Primeden has very little mana. Top lane, it's all Darius currently, 15 CS ahead. Plus that one assist. Also going back for the first time with 1,400 gold, so we'll see what he picks up. And then...
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, and then bot lane up by about 6. 12 actually if you count what Tahm Kench has been doing as well. With that shield you can, because he's been helping out his ADC as well.
I do want to point out that Tilted Snorlax already up to 30 stacks, so stacking that AP very effectively on Tilted Snorlax. 30 AP at 6 minutes, or coming up on 7 minutes on the game, is actually pretty good.
We'll see if he's able to make stuff happen with it. It's been a pretty bloodless game so far, other than catching Kane out there, and even that wasn't almost a guarantee, but I got a really bad feeling about this bot lane here. Jackalope is just very squishy at half health right now. Perhaps they'll get a bit of a reprieve here as the bot lane of White Wolf heads back.
Yeah, since they're going back, I would like to see a very important buy coming out as okay, the BF and Moses Storm Razor, that's a suitable buy. But a lot of pressure going on to Ezreal, and Fat Jackalope trying to stack up that tier, but definitely a big power advantage on the side of White Wolf at this point in the game on bot lane.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to take advantage of it. We do have Kane is now about halfway to 6. Nocturne is at 6. So Nocturne is about to turn on. We'll see who he decides to pick on first. Baconlicious, very respectful of anything Kantos can do, backing off at full health. Alright, so we have a 3-man presence down here in the bot lane. I'm surprised they aren't trying to do Dragon. They might have been able to grab it with Kane's damage output. But
yeah, it would have been risky too. I mean, I don't know how well they're tracking where Nocturne is. Maybe they had a good sense that he'd be on the bot side. I mean, they certainly see him now. But yeah, they certainly have the potential to go for a Dragon here. In fact, they're kind of looking up. I think just warding, but...
And it is an Ocean Drake. I mean, obviously that is very helpful early game, but they probably don't feel any sort of pressure to go for it. Once again, Baconlicious, very scared of Stelio Kantos. Trading bars back and forth. Once again, we have another Scion who's stacking his Q, so any poke from his E is really non-existent.
When you couple that in with the very large amount of healing that Stelio Kantos is putting out as well, it almost makes sense to not bother.
All right, here we
Flash
go.
forward. Nocturne off, goes in, Saya also out, Tom Kench gobbles up, Deformed Ape looking for further engage, gets exhausted, chooses to back off. Tarek ult comes down, invulnerability coming around, misses Fat Jackalope, and a disengage is called by Gale Force.
Wow. That went really badly for Gale Force there.
Yeah, it basically got a flash out of Tom Kench and I guess exhaust, yeah, but certainly less than they were hoping for, definitely less than the first Paranoia, should be aiming to get.
Yeah,
on that Nocturne.
I mean, I'd say the big reason that you could argue they came out poorly on there was just that, as you said, that was the first Paranoia. You want the first Paranoia to set a huge tempo for basically the rest of the game. Obviously, the supports both traded their summoners, which is fine, but they probably wanted more than they got out of that.
For sure. And, it's not like they died or anything. It's not game over, but definitely a loss of tempo there that, most teams would like to avoid.
This time, Tilt Me Silly gets out a little bit quicker.
Yeah, it was that same collapse, though. They were looking for that.
And Primedin did come over to help.
And especially with that ult around 2, Primedin's going to have a much better time assisting Tilt Me Silly the next time that same fight happens.
Yeah, we'll
One
see.
thing that I've been looking to get a chance to say is I've actually been watching Stelio Cantos get his passive stacks off on Baconlicious, and he always gets 4, sometimes 5 stacks off. He's actually very good at applying them.
Another little engage down here in the bot lane. Big stun comes out. Tarek gets grabbed. Arcane Soda is very low, though. I don't think they want that aggression. Teleport coming in, probably not necessary, but big Scion all down here. He got down there already. Damage really isn't there. Jackalope gets taken out by a huge Q. Might get more. Baconlicious going back in. Another teleport coming out. Kantos is now going after Arcane Soda. Here comes the Veigar. Zig's ult does damage him, but Veigar does not care. Decides to back off. Slow little magician there. Meanwhile, Scion is 2v1ing here, but Kantos chases him off. More flashes blown. Deformed Ape comes in with a fear, but it looks as though they're willing to part ways with just a kill.
And already 2 massive team fights, for the early game. That is a lot of resources. Both teams committing to the fight pretty heavily. Ends up being, I think, 1-for-0 in this case. I think the Ezra goes down, but he has completed Manamune, so he's actually online now. I'm sure he would have rather have gone back to the base at a time of his choosing, but the fact that he gets to walk out of base with a Manamune is not that bad.
I think the most interesting thing about this whole all the exchanges we've seen is that we're dealing with a lot of later game heroes or champions here. Tilted Snorlax, Ezreal, with Fat Jackalope there. Tilt Me Silly, I would say, is a little bit more online. Oh, here we got a back play here coming out. 3-man on there. Jackalope probably going to get taken out again. Does. Can Angered Carrot get away? Cannot.
I think a defensive Paranoia was cast, or maybe Deformed Ape went in on Primed in at mid. There was a lot of action and I missed it.
Yeah, he did jump on Primed and Blue Flash and got out of there.
Okay. So something gained for it. At first I thought it was just a defensive one, but it was that must have been a Tom Kench ult. That's how they got behind him. Ah, okay. Using that character very effectively. Good on White Wolf and Amaya Chan.
Yeah, definitely a really good use of it. Something you don't really see at certain levels. Tom Kench using that. Generally it's just more of like moving across the map, but this was used almost like a teleport. And now Tilted Snorlax may be in trouble. Tilt Me Silly's thinking about it. Top laners are fighting a little bit. Big pull there. I don't think Darius can kill Baconlicious here, though.
Yeah, you can certainly force him out of lane, though. This is a lot of damage going in. Oh, man, that bleed's going to put him down at about a quarter health. That's... Oh, and Tilted Snorlax roamed up as well.
Finally going for Ocean Drake here. Let's see if they can get it. In fact, Jackalope might be able to steal. Does not. Wouldn't be able to anyway. That was a smite finish. Primed still working on that turret. Oh,
that turret's dead if he has his natural charge. I'm not sure that he saved it, though.
There it goes.
There it is.
Alright, so first turret goes to White Wolf as well. They've gotten a lot of tempo soon. Another big fight down here in the bot lane. Gonna get Angered Carrot. Should be able to survive this, though. He's relatively durable.
He's got this ult. If he really needs to, he can
I don't think he wants to blow it here. Oh, here comes Tilt Me Silly. Really nice of Amaya to let that kill go through. Could have taken it.
Ooh, lots of damage. Oh, solo kill. Tilted Snorlax reminds Primedin that delete button is very much an option. A bit of good news for Gale Force. And coming off the back of 3 unanswered kills. Actually, I think it was 4 unanswered kills. They certainly could use the good news.
Yeah, 70 stacks there on that Vigor. 72 now. Jackalope was trying to hold that bot turret, but knows Kane's waiting for him, so decides to back off. 3 turrets destroyed in about 60 seconds.
Yeah, especially with the Ziggs in the team, although I don't think Ziggs' kit had that much to do with it, but with the Ziggs around, we're going to lose a lot of turrets very quickly in this game. But, you know, that makes it a fun game.
Absolutely.
I do love to see the bullying coming out of Stelio Cantos. It's a very drastic change in style from like the Mundo and some of the other stuff that he's famous for. And I think it suits Gale Force pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, especially because, you know, that's kind of how you really want to play Darius. You want to get really aggressive. You want to move up and basically scare people away. You want to be afraid of the dunks that can come from just his insane stacking burst damage.
Exactly. And speaking of insane damage, 79 stacks already on Tilted Snorlax. She's up to almost 200 damage. Oh, this is bad news for Primed and gets stunned. That's the snapper charge out.
Oh, here comes a bot lane thing. Jackalope's in a lot of trouble. Both of the chasing. And that's the end of Ezreal.
Yeah, exactly. That's all she wrote on that one. Fat Jackalope having a rough time of it this game, but he doesn't need to do the carrying right now, even though this is his burst phase. Big fight on top lane. Nocturne, Paranoia ult in, Xayah Featherstorm's out. Stelio Cantos doing a lot of damage. Tom Kent still a thing. Apprehend, bringing that back into the fight. Focus entirely on Arcane, sort of Flash is forced out. Great root damage, flash forward by Stelio Cantos. Dunks on Xayah, and one more to secure a double kill. 2-for-0 in the top lane. And the fight continues in mid. Ooh, deletion, and just to add extra safety to that, Cosmic Radiance comes out as well from Angered Carrot.
The thing that I really picked up on there in that fight was the fight in top lane specifically. Well, we'll get that a second here. Jackalope thinking of engaging. Nope. Well, maybe here comes Tilted Snorlax. See if they can get Baconlicious here. Don't stun.
There's no escape from this one. No mana on Angered Carrot though. That's actually not great. I do think they need to back off here.
Yep. Anyway, what I was gonna say is that Arcane Soda has a lot of damage potential still, even when running for his life there. He almost took out Nocturne. Nocturne had to do a really good flash to get out of there.
Yep, in the top lane, yeah, absolutely. But it was I mean, it was a really good flash too. Credits due, but in that same vein, Arcane Soda doing a great job on this Xayah. Certainly not his first time on the champ, but you know he's showing his mastery of Xayah, and that's great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see if he's able to get more of that done. As the game is continuing, we had 5 kills apiece, less than 1,000 gold separating both sides. And we have another fight going up here. Arcane Soda is all alone this time, though. He cannot solo Kantos in this condition.
Apprehend already down. Xayah's ult is on cooldown, but Dunk is still present.
We'll see if they're able to get him here. Big teleports coming in. Jackalope is now up there, too. This could be a big play here for Gale Force. Should be able to take out a Maya Chain here. Their whole team is up here except for Tarek. They should get a turret for this if they really want to, but it looks as though they're going mid to protect that instead.
Yeah, there's a natural charge, though, so I think that's going to be that. Although Primedom might die to make it happen. Apprehend comes out, forcing out the flash. Yeah, it stayed a little bit too long there, Primedom. I'm not sure the turret was worth it, but did get something for it. Right. Nocturne and Tilt Me Silly engaging in the top lane. Fear goes out. Lots of damage coming down. Tilt Me Silly in a very bad spot. Is
good flash.
Which does make it out. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, there's that slippiness from Kane there. I don't think you should stay around. I think you should go home. Tilt Me Silly. I think you should go home. Good. All right.
Oh, Deformed Ape. We're caught out here. Tom Kent coming down as well. This is not great for Deformed Ape. Probably going to die. Does force out a lot of the team kind of roaming here. There's an Ezreal and a Vigar nearby. I don't know if this is a fight that they want, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Question mark?
Gale Force is really, really trying here to make something happen, but I don't think there's anything there.
Wisely disengage, and I think that was exactly what they needed to do. But 8-6. When did Gale Force had like 4 unanswered kills, and man, they started answering them, and they answered loudly.
Yep, indeed. Sorry for the black screen here, folks. I'm just checking something real quick. Just give me a minute. The game should keep going. Just in a bit of a downtime, so I'm trying to fix something.
Ooh, fight coming on. Angered Carrot gets caught out, is swallowed up by a Maya-chan. There's a Primed in nearby. Cosmic Radiance goes out. I think he's going to live long enough for it to be up. He is still alive at like 300 health. Stelio Cantos comes in, hooks a Maya-chan, and is doing a lot of damage, being the hero his team needs. Angered Carrot does make it out with almost no health, and General Disengage is sounded, although it looks like White Wolf is looking at the second Ocean Drake, which is alive now that they forced back Angered Carrot's Terran.
Sorry about that, guys. Discord's having a little trouble with me using an overlay here. Trying to sort that. I don't know why it's showing up now compared to other times we stream. But it looks like they do get the Ocean Drake.
Do indeed, and I didn't mind the opportunity to go radio mode. But, yeah, second Ocean Drake is secure. That is a significant amount of regen on the side of White Wolf, and one of the only really good things to go their way in the last couple of minutes here. I'm sure they welcome having that very strong regeneration, which, at least in my opinion, is always
We do have a move here from, just heading top.
just collecting some farm, getting that Xayah further ahead. Arcane Soda has what was a 40 CS lead. That is huge. Looking at the gold, it's close to 2,000 gold advantage.
We do have Tilted Snorlax setting out the Rift Herald here. We'll see. They will get this turret, no question. We'll see if they can get any more.
That's a for sure. Almost got it before the Rift Herald even had to take any damage.
Primed getting a lot of artillery out here. Big stun coming down. We'll see if they can get Tilt Me Silly here. Manages to hide inside Kantos, but is going to end up getting away. He did. Tilt Me Silly did go the red form, which gives him a big heal boost there and lets him stay in the fight.
And I think that kind of shows a desire to have more sustained brawly damage as opposed to like an assassin's level of damage. I don't think that Tilt Me Silly is going full tank. Oh, actually, I can verify that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not going full tank on this one. But definitely wanted that extra healing and that extra brawl potential. Primed in a little bit caught out here. Arcane Soda, sorry, not Arcane Soda, excuse me. Angered Carrot eating a bunch of damage here from this minefield. Primed eats just as much back. Tilted Snorlax putting down a ton of damage on this Vigar, certainly playing the character very well.
Yeah, absolutely. Vagar is currently at 119 stacks. So getting that delete button up really big.
Yeah, that's already 282 ability power. With only one completed item, essentially. Gonna have that Zonia's Hourglass here pretty quickly, too, just making it that much more of a problem for White Wolf Gaming to deal with.
Well, we'll see if they're able to respond to it. Gold lead is now below 2,000, but there's a big collapse coming here. Tilted Snorlax and Angered Carrot have got to get out of there. Fortunately for them, White Wolf went one way, so Angered Carrot should be able to get out. We'll see if he's able to get the stun. Avoids everything, actually. So
yeah, that was a great defensive cage coming out of Tilted Snorlax to ensure that Angered Carrot can just walk out in peace.
Meanwhile, Stelio Kantos has decided that he's going to hold the last outer turret for as long as he can. See if he's able to do it. Oh, going in 2v1 here, focusing all on Primed and gets in front of them. Primed's bounce, good slow there though. Jackalope does have ult available almost. Big Zigzaw coming, nothing for it though. Kantos is more than willing to fight this Scion. Here comes the Nocturne as well, but then there's a jump from the other side too. We've got the bot lane moving up here. Arcane Soda very low, does have tower aggro, manages to jump over it there. Coming in the support to save him, but there goes the Scion, so Scion will drop in a second there. Oh, Tilted Snorlax also managed to delete Kayn, which we completely missed.
Holy cow! White Wolf tries to go for a play and ends up staying a little bit too long under turret range. Stelio Kanto is not scared of anything that White Wolf is throwing at him today on this Darius. Solo kills a Scion over the course of 5 hours, and forces out a couple flashes too. Good news for Gale Force.
Something we failed to observe earlier is this Ezreal does have teleport available. Just use it to hop down to that bot lane and pick off that turret.
One of the disadvantages of not having a 3-minute spectator delay, 3-minute spectator delay is that I can't talk today apparently, but that I didn't have a chance to bring up his teleport. I love teleport Ezreal. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Well, this could be really bad if they don't get out of there right now. Teleport may be a little too close. Do get that free control ward though, so why not? Deformed Ape is also kind of creeping a little bit close, but knows his boundaries, gets some heal. Next dragon coming up in a minute and a half. It's a Cloud Drake now, so breaking up the chain of the 2 oceans that White Wolf has been using for quite a good amount of the game. Hasn't really worked out for him too much though, as they're 3,000 gold behind. 4,000 now.
Yeah, exactly. And even Ezreal, even Fat Jackalope getting some quality farm time in the bot lane. Still notably behind Arcane Soda. I've completely lost the ability to talk, but starting to make a comeback here and has completed both Iceborne Gauntlet and got all of his mana from Mana Moon stack. So this Ezreal is this is the peak. This is when Ezreal wants to fight.
The really interesting thing about the position that Gale Force is in right now, they are in the lead, but most of the gold advantage that they have, I mean, obviously it is mostly on Kantos. They got about 3,000 gold lead just off of him. So a lot of gold focused on this Darius, which means they should look to try to hit places where Darius is not. And Darius seems to really like being in the top lane, so if they could focus a little more on this mid lane, maybe try to pick off Tilted Snorlax, I think they could get some momentum back.
And speaking of Tilted Snorlax and gold leads, Snorlax actually down about 300 gold, or 600 gold, excuse me. And I think the main reason behind that is just all of the solo tower gold that Primeden's been collecting. Sure, there's a CS difference, but I don't think it offsets 3 kills and 1 assist.
Alright, well, we'll see what happens here. Looks like we're going to start engaging here. Both teams being a little respectful of themselves. It actually looks like Baconlicious is thinking of going back. I don't think he really okay, he does go back. So currently it will be a 4v5 if Gale Force decides to engage, but it looks as though they're willing to let White Wolf at least start this dragon.
Yeah, it is a Cloud Drake, which I know a lot of teams don't put any priority on. Yeah, they just generally give it up, although they are putting a lot of pressure on this tier 2 mid turret. Willing to trade the Drake for that, and they do secure it.
Interesting tactic there. We'll see if it works out for him.
Exactly. I don't know if that was good or bad, really, but it was certainly an intentional tactic.
Ambush here, Baconlicious. Oh, actually jumps over it. I don't know if they actually did that intentionally. Big pull there by Kantos. He's going to be invincible. They do get a lot of damage off there, though. Here comes the ultimate. We'll see what happens with the Kantos. Did get eaten. They're going to all jump on him. We'll see if he can clear house with it. Meanwhile, Tilt Me Silly is holding off the rest of the team, and now they're coming back in. They just lost basically their entire gold advantage here, and their 2 leaders both die.
Fat Jackalope can kite for days, so this isn't... Oh, a Tom Kench comes out. Never mind. He can't kite for days. This is probably the end of him. Oh, no. Okay, so White Wolf not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. Immediately run to that Baron. They know what they are looking for right now. And I'm not sure that Gale Force is aware of it. In fact, looking at Vision, they are certainly not aware that this is going to be a nasty surprise for Gale Force.
I think they must at least be able to predict that it's going on. But at the same time, I would be very surprised if there's anything they can do about it. And there you go, they can't.
Yeah, fair enough. But
yeah, I mean, in that situation, you just lost all 4 of your damage dealers and had your Nocturne at 2 hit points. If they don't go in for Baron, you're against a team that doesn't know how to win. But White Wolf clearly does know how to win, and now they're going to push and see what they can do about it.
Absolutely. Teleport coming out of Tilted Snorlax, though, not giving up anything for free here. And disengage out of Ziggs and Baconlicious.
Yeah. Well, we'll see here at going to be 29 minutes in a bit here. At 29 minutes, we've got 158 ability power. Yep, no swap around there. But I would really like to see how White Wolf uses this Baron buff to really get the game going in their favor now. I think they can do it. They are grouping to push mid. They do spot Deformed Ape, but he wisely backs out. This Deformed Ape has really been shut down, though. This Nocturne has not been doing too much.
Yeah, struggling a little bit. Stelios gets a nice apprehend off, forces Flash immediately out of Maya-Chen. Definitely wanting to disengage there. Reasonable, but...
A little surprised by that Flash, but you can never underestimate the burst damage of Darius.
Yeah, the rest of his team is there too, so I guess it makes sense, but...
Ziggs might be in trouble here. Kantos is coming to close down. Don't go into that push,
never
Prime
mind.
Eden.
It's the rest of them that are in trouble. A cage goes out. Flash forced out by Deformed Ape. I think they're going to get away. A flash forward by Tilt Me Silly.
It looks as though Kantos is going to not be able to catch up to Prime Eden. Does get under
Oh, never
trigger.
mind. They're going back in. Cosmic Radius comes out. Great Event Horizon. This is going to do a ton of damage. Never mind. Tilt the Snorlax dying a little bit too early there. And Kane going down, but it's a 2-for-1 at the moment. I liked the turn, but it was probably a little bit overambitious.
Yeah, and once again, really great play there by Amaya-chan from the Tahm Kench. Picking up Arcane Soda, dropping behind the enemy so that when they turn around to go back in, they're getting sandwiched. And it just did not work out for Gale Force there.
Yeah, the macro map movements out of White Wolf are on point this game.
All right, gold lead is now equal. Score is actually basically as equal as you can get besides dragons. 11-11, 4 turrets apiece. Well, let's see what happens here. Maya-chan, does not manage to get away. Kanto's really a lot of on-point pulls today, but not able to solo anymore.
Yeah, Arcane Soda's Xayah 7-2 very recently. Certainly off to a great start. I think she had 2. He had 2 kills at the end of laning phase. Maybe it was 3 or something. So this Xayah definitely totally online right now. Baconlicious very tanky as well. Same goes for Tahm Kench. Paranoia comes out. Ooh, that was a great satchel charge coming out of Primed in. Deformed Ape now in a bit of trouble. Spell Shield's very the timely Spell Shield.
The delete button
comes out.
Alright, so Deformed Ape gets a little help from his friends. Manages to not get picked off there.
Yeah, he successfully Spell Shielded Ziggs ult, which is what the Mega Bomb, which is what I was trying to spit out there, but blocked a ton of damage, kept him alive, and the cleanup comes out of Tilt the Snorlax and the rest of Gale Force.
Alright, still very equal, 1,000 gold lead going over to White Wolf thanks to that picked up kill there. And Baron has expired. Next dragon is coming out, will be a Cloud Drake again. White Wolf looking for their 4th dragon of the game. Really haven't seen Gale Force contest those at all, so I'm a little disappointed in that.
Yeah, their priority has been on securing towers and such. It worked out for them. They had a great streak in the middle where they built up a sizable lead. White Wolf has clawed their way out of it, but part of the reason why they generated that lead was because of their lack of focus on Dragon and instead on other gold-generating objectives.
Well, we'll see how it goes here.
Snorlax face checks into 2 people, does dodge the Q from Baconlicious, is sitting here doing a bunch of damage. Edgewell flashes forward, Paranoia comes out, Xayah takes a ton of damage, does get feared, nice on the root back, has traded 2 for 1, while the bot lane cut down here. Tarek, great stuns coming out, catching both Tilt Me Silly and Baconlicious. GA procced on Deformed Ape. Cosmic Radius comes out. Stelio Kantos, this is his calling. He's going to town. Here comes out Ezreal Ultimate as well. Baconlicious goes golden, gets apprehend. That is going to eventually be oh no,
might get 2.
No, so holy cow, that was so close. Fat Jackalope forgetting, of course, that Cyan has a passive. Angered Carrot barely making it out.
I was gonna say something when Ezreal Essen shifted into that Scion at the end there. It was kind of like the serial killer movie where, you know, the person is like, oh right, I'm gonna stab Jason in the face, and that's just gonna be the end of it. And then Jason's just like, nope, I'm just gonna kill you.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those ones where you elude the killer, and then at the last minute you trip over a branch and it makes a noise, and then he totally catches up to you anyways. You know, it's exactly like that.
And meanwhile, Angered Carrot's in a lot of trouble here. No mana, less health than even that. Just gonna get picked off here. We'll see who secures the kill. Okay. Gotta learn how to zigzag a little bit more there, Angered Carrot, next time.
Or also run towards your own base.
Yeah, well, you know, details.
I feel like I'm being overly picky. I do appreciate that he ran to go collect the gold coin just to make sure that at least he got that little bit out of it, out of his ancient coin.
I am really liking the red cane. Not even so much the choice of it, but just the design of it. Reminds me of Spellbreakers from Warcraft 3. It's got that gold and red going for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, so pushing down mid, they're doing a 4-1. I'm not sure I like Ziggs being the one who's split pushing, but if it works out for him, it works out for him. Kantos is going to
teleport.
Run head first into Tilt Me Silly. Tilt Me just does a little knock up and backs off. Alright, so we'll see how they decide to do this. Looks like they might just group up in the bot lane here. Tilt Me Silly, another reason for the split pushing, does have that satchel charge. Chunks that turret in 2 hits.
Yeah, not much you can do about that. Sure, you could. Oh, they are going for the gauge. Flash forward, gets the apprehend. Stuns go up. Paranoia also on. Gets knocked back into the event horizon. That's very bad news for Primeden. Concentrating goes out, has faded. Tilt Me Silly finally taking down Angered Carrot. So far, it's a 4-for-1. Another great Taric ult. So obviously he didn't get killed. It was Deform Dave. Bunch of damage coming out. Tilted Snorlax with Blue Bluff chasing down. Stelio Kantos gets slowed by the lick.
Oh,
flash forward into an event horizon. Gets the... Holy cow, that was so well played. Tilted Snorlax.
Gale Force making a statement there. That was a very well played, drawn out fight there. Managed to get all the flashes they needed, really. I mean, they did a lot of flash engaging and it all worked out. And so now we'll see how they can counter push. Fat Jackalope used that teleport to get to the top lane and is now split pushing.
Yeah, one of the great things about having so many teleports is that you do get to capitalize very heavily on fights like this that go out in your favor. Baron is up, but they have chosen instead to prioritize knocking down these turrets. Looks like they're going to recall. If I was them, I'd run straight towards Baron and make sure that nothing funny happens with White Wolf Gaming here.
At the very least, I'd make sure there's another ward on it. Good job taking out that Blast Cone. That's a good first step. Yep, getting the crab too. Yeah, I don't think they had the... I think they would have actually lost all of their tempo if they had run to Baron there, and they probably knew it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I certainly didn't mean to say that it was a bad call. I just, one of those cases where they had made the other call.
Plus it means White Wolf got a little excited here. We'll see what happens. Kane runs into the wall to get away, but now we have Amaya caught out, gets pulled. A little bit of a stun there. That's well played there. We'll see if we can keep all of this in perspective here. Chasing both Tilt Me Silly. Leaving Amaya-chan alone. Big damage from that Vagar, though. And there goes Amaya-chan. Kane manages to just do Kane things and get away.
Yeah, exactly. Maya-chan stun locked beyond the point of being able to even turn his gray health into a white shield. I'm loving the Darius Taric combo. There's a lot of times where Darius feels like he doesn't have enough CC, but that Taric with his E, with his little stun thing, actually augments that, and it's working. They're using it very effectively. Gale Force is.
White Wolf down by 5k gold currently. They are choosing to split push with Baconlicious, so it's a 3v4 in the mid lane. But now they're kind of splitting up here. We have Tilt Me Silly going to engage. Does get spotted by that ward. Notices the ward and goes back to kill it. And they're going straight onto Baron. Gale Force is here. We'll see if they can secure it. There is no vision. This is going to get close. Ziggs ult is available. But if you wanted to throw it, you need to do it there. Nope. Big damage, though.
Yeah, lots of damage goes out. Unfortunately for White Wolf, there's not enough follow-up here, and I think Gale Force is going to just walk it out successfully. And indeed they do. So, real reversal here. the previous Baron had gone to White Wolf on the back of a team fight that they won, and Gale Force does exactly the same. Back to them.
Yeah,
But,
it's
6K gold lead as well for Gale Force. Things are starting to look bad for White Wolf. Gale Force playing a great game.
Elder Drake is the next dragon to come up, so we'll see which team can take advantage of that the most. And for all you people keeping an eye on the playoff stats, if Gale Force wins this, then Blitzkrieg is, I believe, guaranteed a spot in the playoffs.
Yes, I think Blitzkrieg is only out if both Phoenix and Gale Force, Phoenix and
White Wolf, both 2-0.
White Wolf, is both 2-0, correct? Yes.
Yeah. So Blitzkrieg fans, we all know who you're rooting for. But we'll see what happens here. White Wolf is not out by any stretch of the imagination. They have some very powerful tools at their disposal. They just need to wait to use them effectively, and they're going to try right here. They have Kantos trapped, and here comes Arcane Soda as well. Kantos, however, is an absolute beast, surviving much longer than anyone has any right to, but still does go down.
Yeah, and with your primary split pusher killed while Baron buff is active, that is actually really good on White Wolf to really stall up this Baron buff.
We got a 4,000 hit point Scion holding the front door here.
While the rest of White Wolf is looking at this Elder Drake, which is already at half health, this is just going to go over. This is a great call coming out of White Wolf to just secure that real quick, take it off the field.
All right, little concerned about what they're going to do there. They decide to go straight bot, so depending how Gale Force decides to play this, we could have a base race of Elder Drake versus Baron buff here.
And in fact, that's kind of what it looks like is about to happen.
I don't know if I agree with this call. We'll have to see. Obviously, no Earth Drakes were picked up. They did send Tilted Snorlax back to stall. Vigar is very good at stalling with those AoE stuns. So
Corn Dave also back, so Paranoia, he's within Paranoia range already and can get in, but this Ziggs is, yeah.
Alright, so we'll see what happens here. Scion ends up getting stunned. They're going straight for the inhibitor. Both turrets have been destroyed. Big stun comes out there. Primed and looking to make something happen. They jump straight in on Arcane Soda, almost kill him in 2 hits. Good save there by Amaya, though, and now it's turning around the other way. Scion ults to get away, but they're going for the turrets here. We'll see what happens. Kantos is actually also ended up going back and is now left alone to guard. Should probably go back and heal, and is teleporting actually to go for the win. Let's see what happens here. Just Baconlicious left. The turret is going down. I think that Gale Force is going to win this just through DPS alone, but here comes the Cairn. Let's see what happens here. Invincibility is coming down. If the invincibility lands, it should be able to get it done. They're focusing the inhibitor. Meanwhile, down at the other side, the Nexus is also getting focused. Who's going to deal the most damage first?
What a base race! Holy cow! Gale Force takes a game off White Wolf in a very exciting base race. I don't think they could have done it without that Cosmic Radiance providing that immunity, buying enough time for them to chunk out the base. Taking a look, it was I was looking at the red side Nexus. Did you see how much health the blue side Nexus had left?
Blue side was literally a sliver. It could not have gotten closer.
Oh man, what a game! And that is only game 1 of the split, of the set. Excuse me. So I think we'll take a brief look at stats. And
I can't get to stats because it's a replay, unfortunately. It seems.
Oh no. Well, there was a ton of damage.
Right. I mean, both teams were very equal for quite a long time there. I'm not surprised that it came down to that kind of a clutch ending.
Yeah, I hadn't reported on Tilted Snorlax's stacks for a while, but she was approaching 300 by the end of that just on her passive alone. And I know Scion was massively tanky.
Whew. All right. So after that amazing ending to Game 1, we're going to take a brief break, set up the videos and the replays for Game number 2, and then we'll head in Game number 2. White Wolf now needs to get a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. And congratulations to Blitzkrieg by sitting on your couch this week. You managed to get into the playoffs. So we'll take a brief break and be right back. Don't go anywhere.